It's Thanksgiving week. We are making our picks for those Thanksgiving Day games, and it is an awesome slate. Plus, forget quarterbacks. What about Myles Garrett for MVP of the 2025 season on today's NFL Six Pack?
This is Locked On's NFL Six Pack. 6 bold takes from 2 guys who just flat out know football. NFL experts Matt Williamson and Brian Peacock bring pure NFL talk. Great takes, no fluff. Just honest football talk. Crack one open. It's NFL Six Pack on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to the NFL Six Pack. Brian Peacock and Matt Williamson at BD Peacock at Williamson NFL. Thanks everybody for making us your first listen on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day, and thanks for making us now the #1 sports podcast network. We're talking Myles Garrett for MVP in the mailbag, Thanksgiving picks, and take a peek at the Hall of Fame. I think we've got a 6-pack of potential Hall of Famers in the 2026 class as well. Today's episode of the NFL Six Pack brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the FanDuel app. How about this mailbag question from Randy? He says, to heck with the quarterbacks, to heck with Defensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett is your 2025 MVP. About to break the stinking sack record, man.
I get it. And that's an interesting question. And my hunch is he doesn't 1,000% mean it. But I think Garrett is so good and is playing so well that we at least have to answer, field the question. Pick this question out of the pile. You know what I mean? Now, quarterbacks are a different planet. But I believe that on the day before Thanksgiving, Myles Garrett is the best football player walking planet Earth. Now, that's a giant statement, and I have to go down a quick road. I mean, I say that from time to time in Pittsburgh, or even over the last couple of years, if I mention that Garrett might be better than TJ Watt, I truly fear that my house is going to get egged, and for whatever reason, he's the most hated man around because he hit Mason Rudolph over the head with a helmet. And the Browns aren't even there. I mean, can you just give the guy credit? He's awesome. And it never backs me up because he plays his worst games against the Steelers. So everyone's like, whoa, he didn't have a sack against the Steelers. Look at Williamson. Your favorite guy can't do anything. And TJ had a sack against the Browns. Watt's a great player, folks, but Garrett is on a plane by himself. And I think Micah Parsons is the only one that's even in the conversation with Garrett right now. And Garrett gets better every year, even though that Watt and Garrett are the same draft class. He's better against the run. He's producing more. He can't win MVP. I think we all know that. The only way that he could potentially win MVP is if the Browns' record was flipped and they were leading the AFC North based on him and the best defense in the league. And I went and double checked. Go ahead.
That's the big thing.
That
record makes it
impossible.
Well, while it is already so improbable that he would be able to do it anyway as a defensive player, and it's almost the same thing with running backs at this point. It's a quarterback award, and then you give the offensive player of the year to the best non-quarterback, and then you've got the defensive player of the year. Here's the thing: he won't win, but I bet he gets votes. And
I'll get it right,
especially if he get a vote for MVP. Just as a statement. And if I was a voter, I'd be like, yeah, okay, there's a lot of guys that are close, but Myles Garrett deserves a vote. And he should get a vote. I think he will get a vote. He will not win. It's almost impossible at this point for him to win. But you know what? Maybe he should just play quarterback for the Browns too.
I mean, he may have the sack title wrapped up in 2 or 3 days. I think he has 12 sacks in 4 games.
I mean, he already does. Most years he has enough sacks to win the sack title.
I mean, the sack record. I shouldn't have said
the record.
Yeah. I mean, he may set the record with games to play and not need, Brett Favre to fake a sack and things like that and fall down. That kind of nonsense.
Travesty as well, and there will be no question. What if Mason Rudolph lays down for him?
That would actually be pretty hilarious. So I just double checked it because we are going to do Hall of Fame stuff and a little bit of history here. 1971, Alan Page won the MVP. Purple People Eaters.
Yeah.
They were the best team. They were one of the best teams in the league. They went to Super Bowl 4 times in the 70s. And then the other time, there's only been twice. 1986, LT won it for the Giants. As basically the equal to Garrett or very, very close. I really think Garrett's at that level, which is the ultimate praise. Except the Giants were the best team in the league. They weren't picking in the top 5.
Not going to happen. Phenomenal season, though. And if any defensive player in recent history, going back to Aaron Donald, probably Myles Garrett deserves some consideration. And maybe, who knows? Maybe the quarterbacks falter a little bit down the stretch, and it makes this thing a lot more interesting as far as who the MVP is.
Maybe Jonathan Taylor could win it. Like if the Colts win out,
right?
They have the 1 seed. Yeah.
That's Stafford, like Stafford right now. Yeah,
I know. I was just thinking of any non-quarterback that might actually have a chance.
Coach Lammers has a question about what we stated about the Las Vegas Raiders. And he said, how could you put any of this on the shoulders of Pete Carroll with how bad the Raiders roster is right now this season, Matt? And my initial reaction to that, he hired Chip Kelly, and he's already fired after 11 games. He hired his son to be the offensive line coach. It's the worst unit on the team. And I know there's been some injuries there. And you can't.
He had to do something with Geno.
You can't get the rookies ready to play. But here's the thing: the Raiders are worse now with Pete than they were last year, and they brought themselves in what was supposed to be a legitimate, actual starting NFL quarterback.
Yeah, it was like O'Connell last year, folks.
Right. So how can you not put at least a lot of it on Pete Carroll? I know the roster's bad, but Pete deserves.
I don't care what the situation is. If you're the worst team in the league, the head coach has something to do with it. I think they're the worst team in the league. Are they the worst roster in the league? We could fight about it, but it's not clear.
And they're not competitive like some other bad teams with bad rosters and potentially even bad coaches.
Especially lately. I mean,
they've not been competitive lately. Yeah.
Now they're embarrassing.
They are embarrassing completely and getting worse, which is a sign of bad coaching and a sign of. How about this? Do you see how good Jermaine Pratt played last week? And the Raiders cut him.
Really?
You don't have extra good players to be cutting that are actually playing well in other places.
That's a bad look too. Like when you're an awful team and you're cutting guys and then they look good somewhere else too.
Yeah, very bad sign.
It's different if you're the best team in the league and you cut a backup linebacker and he's playing well for the Titans.
All right, it is the holiday season. Our last episode before Thanksgiving. We'll be back on Friday to make some more picks for the weekend games and then talk about what happens on the Thanksgiving games. We're going to make our picks here in a minute. But question here from Joey Bag of Donuts, a frequent question asker in the former Peacock and Williamson, former Locked On NFL, and now NFL six-pack mailbag. He might have been a practice squad member from back in the day, too. I'm not sure how far back he goes with Williamson, but Joey Bag of Donuts says it was our favorite side, right? What is our favorite Thanksgiving side?
Yeah, let me double check and make sure I don't screw up his question here.
Well, real quick,
favorite and least favorite Thanksgiving side dish.
I will take sides over mains all day long. I'm not a big turkey guy. I'm not a big ham guy. And so for me, I'll let you go first, Matt. I want to ponder just to make sure I don't miss one.
My family makes this spinach which isn't the doesn't sound so awesome, but it's basically cheese with a little bit of spinach mixed into it.
Yeah, it's the dip. It's the one you hit even before you get your plate of food.
No, this is a side.
Okay.
Like you get the scooper and you put it right next to it. I'm a big fan of that. It's a spinach casserole or something like that.
Cream spinach kind of thing. Is that what it's called?
Nah, it's just tons of white cheese and some good spices and some green stuff mixed in.
Okay.
My easy one is stuffing. I mean, stuffing awesome.
Is top tier. It's the Myles Garrett of sides.
100% agree. Yams to me are a kind of a fun, sweet little side, but all in all, sweet doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm actually a big fan of the green bean, a little bacon going on in there. I'm down with that. Nice. Potatoes, can always be good in whatever kind of form they come. If they're scalloped, if they're mashed, and so I'm a big side guy. And if I had to choose one, I would just have a plate full of sides versus some of the mains that come around during the holidays. I'm trying to think. Cranberry sauce, I don't even understand why it exists, to be honest with you.
I don't get it. The weird can plops
especially
right
the
out.
Canned one. It's like you have to have it for some reason. It's supposed to go good, I think, with turkey or something. Is that why it exists? I'm not sure.
I am as confused about it as you, but I like watching the Food That Built America, and that was a big deal. Like in the 50s, that was revolutionary, and I just think it's now tradition. They sell 8 million cans of that gelatinous mess, and I never eat any of it. Maybe it's good. I don't know.
I must shut down like those companies because you don't produce it ever. And then you have to get enough of it for Thanksgiving, and then you don't produce it again. So
nobody buys it in June.
Stop producing everything else for a while and make only cranberry sauce.
Probably sounds about right. Do beets count? I think beets are the worst thing on the planet.
Oh, that's where we disagree. Beets are awesome.
You love them or hate them? Yeah,
I love a good beet salad with a little feta cheese, and oh yeah, I love myself some beets too. So
okay, yeah, beets just smell up the whole place for me, and I don't want anything to do with them.
So yeah, we'll throw a mailbag question out to the listeners. Why is cranberry sauce?
Yeah, what's the problem?
Why?
And it's not sauce. It's like this Jello thing that just plops out of a can and that takes the shape of the can. Got the ridges around it and stuff.
You know what? A gravy, I think, counts as a separate thing because it's not 4 potatoes. It goes over the whole thing, the whole plate. Sometimes.
And it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. So give me some gravy all day long. I'll drink the gravy. I do have a friend that, my buddy in high school, we used to go to, there was this all-you-can-eat KFC joint. And it wasn't in our hometown. It was on the way to the beach. So it was like every time we go to the beach, we got stopped.
Hate it hard.
They've got the all-you-can-eat KFC spot. He would get a soda cup and fill it with gravy and then take it in the car and drink the gravy the rest of the drive.
Whoa. That could go wrong. Especially with other activities you're doing on the way to the beach or when you get to the beach. Yeah, that could end up being, that's a bad base for the beach.
Oh, that is not good. Next, we're talking Thanksgiving football on the NFL Six Pack.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends over there at Peloton. Look, folks, it's time to break through the busiest time of the year with a brand new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus that's powered by Peloton IQ. It's Peloton's most elevated technology and equipment yet that gives you real-time guidance, and it gives you endless ways to move, whether you want to work out by yourself or if you want to work out with your favorite instructor, like my personal favorite, Alex Toussaint. He always gets me fired up to tackle the day. And the thing I like about Peloton, it helps me achieve more in less times. They have features that help you plan, stay motivated, track your progress, and Peloton IQ also provides personalized workout plans and recommendations. That's something that I use right now during the busiest time of the year covering the NFL. They plan my workouts for me based on my mood, my vibe, and also my favorite instructors. So make sure you check it out and use it because it also helps you correct your form in real time and it maximizes your reps. It counts your reps so that you can do it smarter, safer, and more efficient. Let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
All right, here we go. We got some Thanksgiving football to break down and make some picks for, and it is an awesome Thursday of football action here in week 13. And it starts with, and look, there's tons of playoff implications here in this Thursday night matchup. There's star power. There's really good teams. And so this is going to be a lot of fun. We got to start with the early game, which is a tradition, the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. I mean, we have really good games. And even the Bengals, who basically aren't in it, looks like Burrow's coming back. So, okay, like I want to tune into every snap the best I can. I may even have it quietly on my phone on my dinner table, just kind of gazing down on the side. I'm allowed to do that. I mean, everyone knows this is my job. So I got that.
Yeah.
I got the okay from my mom.
You got to.
You got to, yeah.
Not have a situation where the TV is in eyesight of a table?
Not at my mom's.
Okay.
But she always asks me, she's like, what time do you want me to serve dinner? She always does everything around me. And I just said this year, if the Steelers play, I just go, it's a different story because I have to know like every snap. But in this situation with NFL Plus and whatnot, I'm like, just do whatever makes you happy, Mom. She's obviously older. And I'll just have it on quietly on my phone next to my plate,
There is that 30-minute buffer. So for West Coasters over here, there is the buffer between the early game and the late game. Instead of being like 3 hours, it's 3.5 hours. So you can set it for 1 p.m. and you have 30 minutes of probably the first game's going to be over before the second game even starts. And then if you want to go later, then you've got the extra hour between when a little bit less than an hour when the middle game and then the late game starts. So
okay. I hadn't thought of that angle. Okay.
Yeah, it is a little interesting how they give you that a little extra time. And I think that might be why. So if you're trying to eat Pacific time, 1 p.m. or 4:30 are the times if you even want to miss the least amount of football.
Good tip. Good tip. So I'm looking at this game as Lions -2.5. Does that sound right to you?
We've got the Detroit Lions favored by 2.5 at home, hosting the Green Bay Packers. 7-3-1 Packers and 7-4 Lions. This game's massive.
Massive football game. And I am taking Detroit. Now their defense just let up a lot, and Green Bay looks like they're turning somewhat of a corner. I'm feeling a little bit better about them. But how do you not pick the Lions at home under a field goal on Thanksgiving Day? Short week. We just saw what Gibbs did and blew me away. Amon-Ra St. Brown's playing great. Jameson Williams didn't do anything this past week, but they've been getting him super involved. I just think the offense puts up a lot of points no matter what.
I really want to pick the Packers here. If they were home, I probably would. But short week at the Lions, and because I think the Packers are a team that should be able to get pressure on Jared Goff and could really make things difficult. But at the same time, both of these football teams where they'll look great one week and then the next week, it's like, what are you guys doing? Why are you even messing around with this other football team? And so both those teams have done that. I feel like the Packers have done that more and kind of played up or down to their competition a little bit and kept everything so close. And so if that's the case, I think I do have to go to the Lions as well. And it's less than a field goal at home. I do feel like even if it's a pick-em neutral site, you should at least give 3 points to the Lions being at home on a short week. So give me the Detroit Lions. I'll give up those 2.5 points. But I do think that Myles Garrett could play a huge factor in this game.
Micah Parsons. Right.
Or Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
We're talking so much Myles
I
Garrett.
agree.
This could be a massive factor.
100%. Thanksgiving festivities and nostalgia aside, division game Thursday night, I almost always take the home team.
Although we have seen some surprising results, and I think that's why they put the division teams together, because there's less prep needed. And so maybe that does even that playing field just a little bit. All right, so we're both taking the Lions here, giving up those 2.5 points. How about the Kansas City Chiefs, who are at the Dallas Cowboys, and the Chiefs on the road, favored by 3 points against a pretty hot football team with back-to-back wins in Dallas after the trade deadline?
Yeah, I really like where Dallas is at right now. I might even say Dallas's offense is better than Kansas City's. I wouldn't say Dak's better than Mahomes, but he's playing as well as basically any quarterback out there. Their weapons are scarier. I mean, Pickens and Lamb are a nightmare. And
Pickens is already over 1,000 yards receiving. He's been the best receiver in football this year.
Basically, it's like Smith-Njigba and him. I mean, it really is.
I take that back. I was looking at some metrics for like separation, and Pickens is like getting open, making contested catches when he's not open. Dak clearly trusts him, and that's a great combination, by the way, with Pickens and Dak Prescott.
Oh man,
also getting yards after the catch. He's like
a ton.
Doing everything great.
A ton. I mean, he is remarkably talented. I'm going to take Cowboys at home with the points. I know it means more. Means a lot to both. Dallas is still alive, but Kansas City's in desperation time, as we mentioned yesterday. But on the road, a short week after a huge win that game went to overtime too. I mean, they played extra snaps for the Chiefs, and now you got to go on the road on a short week against a high quality opponent. I think Dallas is a high quality opponent. I'll take the points.
Man, I'm with you. And I was hoping you were going to go the other way. I think you got to take the points at home. The Dallas Cowboys. This is a little bit different in the other game. While it's super important, this is nearly a loser go home game here. And the Cowboys
definitely
might not be able to make it anyway. But
yeah.
I mean, the Chiefs at 6-6. There's too many teams, and they're already 10 seed right now. You're going to lose another game.
If the right teams in the AFC win and the Chiefs lose, they could really be done.
They'd be 3 games out of just a wild card spot.
Right. No, you're 100% right. This is a super important game.
So the Dallas Cowboys here need to win a whole lot of football games. So both these teams' backs against the wall. They almost have to win. It's going to be a lot of fun. Everyone's going to be watching. Home team getting 3 points here, and I do think the Cowboys are a lot better football team than if this game was played a month ago.
Yeah.
And Quinnen Williams is a big one for me. I need to know if Quinnen Williams is going to play because he got banged up in that last game.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I just assumed he was.
It was a rib thing. I think he's okay, but if he doesn't play, then that might skew things the other direction for me. But right now,
it's amazing.
I like the way the Cowboys are playing, and I don't like the way the Chiefs are playing. Cowboys are playing better football, and they're at home, and you're getting points. Give me the Cowboys.
Lines up great.
The final Thursday night Thanksgiving football game is The Joe Burrow-led Cincinnati Bengals. Can he play spoiler against the 6-5 Baltimore Ravens? Ravens at home giving up 7 points.
I went to points. I'm not convinced that the Bengals defense isn't still the worst in the league by a wide margin, but it played its best game this past week. So maybe it's just, slightly 1% better than it was, but that's not why I'm taking them. I don't think Higgins will play. He got a pretty bad concussion, but Chase is back after the spitting incident. I bet they feed him 1,000,000 times. And I'm going to kind of trust Burrow to be, even with rust or whatever, and not play, to come in and be kind of kickstart the team a little bit on a national TV. This is kind of like their Super Bowl. I mean, since he's not going to the playoff, this is their biggest game of the year. Everyone on the planet's going to watch. Joe's back. And I don't really like how the Ravens have played. They don't run the ball like you think. Lamar doesn't look the same. I think the Bengals keep it close.
Oh, you're almost talking me out of it. I wanted to take the Ravens to deliver a haymaker to the Bengals here at home. 7 points is a lot. Rusty Joe Burrow, you only have to deal with one of the star wide receivers. You can bracket Jamar Chase and then, potentially do a lot on the offensive side of the ball against that awful Bengals defense. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to give up the points and say it's a blowout for the Ravens in the night game, and people can get away from it.
It's possible. I mean, Henry might be 203 touchdown type day,
And I think the Ravens defense turned a little bit of a corner.
Okay. I don't disagree. I
think they can. I think they're going in the right direction, are the Baltimore Ravens right now in defense. They've changed some things schematically, and I think it's been a huge difference. So give me Baltimore. I'm giving up a lot of points there in the night game, and who knows, maybe I'll just have to dip into the eggnog if I'm wrong about that one a little early.
Oh, I'll be already having some wine by then.
Yeah, definitely that'll be flowing. My in-laws own a Mexican restaurant, so there'll be margaritas. I got 2 different homes to go to.
That's
a lot of food and a lot of beverages at both, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Either way, during this holiday season, I hope you all have fun this holiday season. Next, though, let's talk 2026 Hall of Fame semifinalists, a 6-pack of Matt Williamson's picks to become the next batch of Hall of Famers. This episode of NFL 6-Pack brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. NFL season, Thanksgiving football, you can find it all and get into that action at FanDuel. You can parlay those games. You can do player props for Thanksgiving. And, of course, every single line, every single week in the NFL, draft props, player props, parlays. But how about the NBA? NBA's back, and there's a lot of fun to be had there. And FanDuel is the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And even if you miss the start of a game, you can ride the hot hand. FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine all your live bets into a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. And right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. The biggest bonus they've ever given out. $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Okay, here we go. Our 6-pack for today is Matt Williamson's 6 picks from the semifinalist class for the 2026 Hall of Fame. And there are some new names to the list. If you're watching this on YouTube, I've got it up on the screen here. And those names in those names that are highlighted are the newcomers, the first timers. And there's some really good names. You got Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers joining Eli Manning, who I believe is in his second year of eligibility as potential Hall of Famers. Frank Gore joins Fred Taylor at running back, and then Larry Fitzgerald, the newest wide receiver on the block, makes the list of semifinalists in his first year of eligibility. Jason Witten at tight end in his first year. Adam Vinatieri still on the ballot as a specialist there. And then you go to the defensive side of the ball here with, the offensive line. You got Willie Anderson, you got Lomas Brown, Jerry Evans, Richmond Webb, Steve Wisniewski, and Marshall Yanda. And then to the defensive side of the football, where defensive lineman Robert Mathis, Vince Wilfork, Kevin Williams, linebackers Luke Kuechly, Terrell Suggs, a couple of really good ones there. And then defensive backs Rodney Harrison, Earl Thomas, and Darren Woodson. A lot of big-time names here. And you think 6 guys are going to go in this year, Matt?
I do. And frankly, the last couple of years have been a little light. And I know that's like ugliest girl at the beauty pageant type of thing. But
Yeah.
There's been a couple of guys I've gotten in like, I don't know. It was a little bit watered down. But from what I understand, starting with this class, especially with Larry and Drew being the newest, guys that are pretty safe to go, the next couple classes coming up are really strong. I mean, like Brady and Gronk and Roethlisberger and a lot of these dudes that are retired recently, Aaron Donald, guys like that. So my 6, which I don't think will, I'm not trying to predict here. This is if I had a vote and you said take 6 to go.
We can do the sounder for you. Okay, here's Williamson's 6, not the ones that you think will go, but the ones you would vote for to make the Hall.
Breeze,
Larry, and I know we have some new listeners. I just want to mention this. I was a recruiting assistant at the University of Pittsburgh for 3 years. And my first year was the year that Larry had to spend at Valley Forge Military Academy. So he was from Academy of the Holy Angels in Minnesota, which we didn't recruit Minnesota. I don't exactly know how that connection happened. But at that point, we had just had the Biletnikoff winner in Antonio Bryant, and so wide receivers were attracted to Pitt. We got Larry. But we knew he had to wait a year, which is probably why he didn't go to Ohio State with his buddy Chris Carter, and go to Valley Forge Military Academy. So my first year at Pitt, he was not a Panther. He was at Valley Forge. So we had to keep recruiting him, and he could still visit us. And I got to know him a little bit and his parents. And then my next 2 years at Pitt were his 2 years at Pitt. So he was like the first college player to only play 2 years and then go to the league, because he petitioned, why don't we change the rules for 3 years past high school as opposed to 3 years of college. I mean, that's how different times were then. That people weren't transferring all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually we don't keep in touch. We're friends on Facebook, but like he knows my wife. If I saw him, I'd give him a big hug. I consider Larry somewhat of a friend, more than an acquaintance, but even more importantly, he's a great dude.
Yeah.
But I watched every one of his practices. I mean, like his practices were even better than the games. He came in and like lit up 2 corners we had that were going to get drafted as mid-round picks. And so it was a joy to be around Larry. I just wanted to appreciate that. And I think he's an obvious first ballot, easy Hall of Famer. I mean,
Easy Hall of Famer, and he just checks every single box.
Right. So I just wanted to, I know some people, I don't always talk about that, but it was awesome to be with Larry. And the other cool thing about it was he didn't blow off school, but he didn't love school. I mean, he wanted to go to the league, and so in his free time, when all the coaches are in the offensive meeting, defensive meeting, he'd just sit with me and watch recruits and be like, you can't recruit that guy. We'll never win anything with that dude. So, when everyone else in the facility was in lockdown, we'd sit there and watch high school tape on VHS. So it was pretty cool.
What you're trying to say is Larry Fitzgerald was responsible for identifying Aaron Donald.
Revis.
Okay.
Okay. Donald was a little after me. Flacco. Yeah, we had some good ones though. Yeah, some NFLers.
Oh, he's like, yeah, who's this big arm kid?
Maybe we should have him throw to me. So anyway, my top 2 are Breeze and Larry. I think they're easy ones. The committee makes me crazy. Like, they didn't put Gates in the first time. They made him wait 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet they do the same with Witten. But Witten, to me, is as deserving as Gates. He would be so those 3 new guys, to me, would all go. I think, and they did the same thing with Kuechly last year. They didn't let him in the first time. I think he's a slam dunk.
Kuechly's got to go this year.
He's got to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's the best linebacker since Ray Lewis. I mean, him and Fred Warner.
Yeah.
To me, those 4. Then it starts to get interesting. My picks would be Earl Thomas. I think he was the best player on the Legion of Boom, and maybe the most important.
Most important, because they allowed him to do everything else that they did.
He absolutely. Yeah. And then my last pick would be Yonda, the guard from the Ravens, which those guys usually have to wait.
Yeah, it's more difficult. Yeah,
I know, but he's a dominant player. Guards are hard to lobby for, as is Vince Wilfork, who I think belongs. I mean, I think he's the best nose really of a generation, and he has a ton of rings and was super important, and Seymour went. So Wilfork's a close one for me. Suggs is also a just missed that probably gets in at some point. I prefer Rivers to Eli, but I'm certain the committee will not agree with me. And Eli had to wait a year. So I bet Eli is one of the 6.
So
but
you
my
think
6
Eli
would
gets in, Rivers will have to wait. Here's the thing for the guys that have to wait. So, Rivers, Witten, I kind of agree with you. I think it's going to go that direction. I think Eli does get in, whether it's this year or some other year, he will get in. But there was kind of a statement. Okay, make him wait a year, but he's going to get in.
Right.
It's going to start getting more and more stacked as you start getting the Mannings and the Bradys, and so it's you need to get in when you can when it comes to the Hall of Fame and this Hall of Fame voting. And so you think that?
I think Eli will go and he would not get my vote.
Gotcha.
I bet Yonda doesn't go and he would get my vote.
Okay.
I bet Earl Thomas wasn't exactly super Mr. Popularity. I'm not sure he gets in either.
Was his height long enough? Because his tail was weird.
The last couple of years didn't help his cause, but
yeah, not at all.
Still think
Kuechly deserves it, and he'll go. Larry's going to go. Breeze is going to go. I think those are the 3 locks for me this year, and I think Eli is probably going to get in as well. That's 4 clearly.
Suggs has a good shot.
Yeah,
Yonda, Witten.
A lot of guys with a good shot, but I would say those 4 are very, very likely to go.
Your boy Frank Gore has a shot. I mean, but the compiler thing's a problem.
The numbers say that he'll be in just because he's top 3 rusher of all time.
And your buddy, Roger Craig, could go on the Veterans Committee.
Yes, yeah. And that's the one that I didn't think was going to happen, but actually I think might be a reality this year for Roger Craig to go, the first ever 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard receiver.
Him and McCaffrey the other night, that was kind of cool together. And there were some similarities to their game.
Absolutely. What do you think? Who are your 6-pack of Hall of Famers in 2026? Let us know at BD Peacock, at Williamson NFL. Thanks everybody for making us your first listen of the day. And thanks for making us the #1 sports podcast network, back on Friday to make more picks for the Week 13 slate and break down everything we saw from Thanksgiving Thursday football right here, the NFL 6-pack.